How do you fix and clear Python error messages in exception handling? Imagine trying to fix a puzzle with pieces that don't quite fit because the instructions are fuzzy. That's what unclear Python error messages can feel like when you're debugging your code. But don't worry, there are ways to make those messages clearer and easier to understand. First, focus on catching specific exceptions instead of using broad ones like just except or catching the exception class. For example, if you're converting user input to a number, catch value error instead of all errors. This way, your error message will tell you exactly what went wrong, not just that something failed. Next, keep your try blocks small and targeted. Only put the code that might cause an error inside the try. If you include too much, you might catch errors from unrelated parts, making it harder to find the real problem. For example, if you're reading a file and then processing data, put only the file opening inside the try. Use custom error messages in your except blocks. Instead of printing the default error, add a message that explains what happened. For example, if a file isn't found, say, "The file you specified does not exist. Please check the file path." This helps you or anyone else understand the issue quickly. When you raise exceptions yourself, make sure to include descriptive messages. Instead of just raising a generic error, add details about what went wrong. If you create your own exception class, give it a clear name and message so it's obvious what the error is about. If you need to re-raise an error after catching it, use the from keyword. For example, raise custom error, something went wrong. From this keeps the original traceback visible, showing the sequence of errors that led to the problem. It's like leaving breadcrumbs for debugging. Avoid suppressing exceptions unless you have a good reason. If you catch an error and do nothing, you might hide the real issue. Instead, log the error with full details, including the traceback. Logging tools can save this information for later review, which is very helpful for fixing bugs. Using a logging framework instead of just printing errors is a good idea. Logs can include timestamps, error levels, and more details, making it easier to analyze what went wrong. This is especially useful in larger projects or when errors happen in production. Finally, consider adding an else clause to your try block. The code inside else runs only if no errors occurred. This separates normal code from error handling, making your program clearer and easier to follow. So, to fix and clear Python error messages, catch specific errors, keep your try blocks small, add helpful messages, raise exceptions with details, chain exceptions with from, log errors properly, and use else to separate normal flow from errors. These steps will make your debugging process smoother and your error messages much clearer.